Thank you for tuning into the Boardroom, where we highlight important updates, discussions, and decisions from each monthly Atlanta Public Schools board meeting. I am Sharice Darby, and this is an inside view of the Boardroom from the April 1st, 2013 meeting. On Friday, March 29th, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office announced indictments against 35 former employees of Atlanta Public Schools. The former employees are accused of wrongdoing in connection with the administration of the Criterion Reference Competency Test in 2009 and, in some cases, previous years. During the April 1st meeting, Board Chair Ruben McDaniel and Superintendent Errol Davis addressed the recent news surrounding the CRCT indictments. Both leaders emphasized the district's focus on cultivating an ethical organization and providing a quality education for children.
As the chairman did express, we believe the system is moving forward, but certainly not at a pace that we would prefer. We've made progress, but healing is difficult, especially when one considers the gravity of the indictments that were released on Friday. As the chairman noted, as the legal process runs its course, our focus is going to remain on cultivating an ethical organization, providing a quality education for our children, and supporting the more than 95% of the individuals in this organization who were not implicated in the scandal. We will maintain our expectation that all employees conform to the highest ethical standards. And for the good of our students, we will move forward with executing and implementing our 5-year strategic plan with both transparency and integrity.
The Board of Education also paid tribute to Dr. Asa G. Yancey Sr. during the April 1st legislative meeting. Dr. Yancey served on the Atlanta Board of Education from 1967 until 1977. Dr. Yancey was valedictorian of the Booker T. Washington High School class of 1933. He then went on to college and graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree from Morehouse College in 1937. He received his MD from the University of Michigan in 1941 and later studied general surgery under Dr. Charles R. Drew. Asa G. Yancey Sr. was an American physician, professor emeritus at Emory University School of Medicine, and a former medical director of the Hugh Spalding Pavilion at Grady Memorial Hospital.
I think the highlight last night for me was when we gave the resolution to Dr. Yancey. Dr. Yancey was a former board member who recently passed away, but he had a stellar career. He was a board member from 1967 to 1977, and we gave a resolution to him.
Chuck Burbridge, Chief Financial Officer for APS, presented a financial update presentation before the board at the April meeting. He discussed the district's current budget, the budget timeline, and highlights from the recent budget committee meeting. As
noted on this slide, we have raised the revenue estimate slightly up to $566.9 million. That's a slight increase from our March forecast, and it's $10 million above our original FY13 budget. You know, primarily we're reflecting the one-time E-rate money that's come in with that better than budget, but still note that we're $30 million below the FY12 revenue resource picture.
The district will hold public forums on the district's fiscal year 2014 budget. At these forums, members of the public will be able to hear about the budget proposal and offer feedback to the school system. The dates and times for the forums will be announced through various communication channels well in advance of the board's June 2013 consideration of the final budget.
We have a number of goals and a number of challenges for our budget. And as I mentioned, the goals, I want to caution that these are just goals at this point in time, and we have some formidable cost challenges that we have to overcome in order for us to achieve these goals. We want to make continued investments in our school. And as I mentioned, that we're working with $30 million less revenue this year, and we have made investments, and we hope to continue to make them. We want revisions in our school security. We have spoken in front of this board a number of times, and we are moving closer to a recommendation. We will continue with Common Core implementation. We hope to achieve a budget that contains no cuts to the arts, no cuts to athletics, and certainly no cuts to special education.
Thanks to taxpayer support, APS is moving forward on a number of SPLOST-funded construction and renovation projects. The district's goal is to create state-of-the-art learning environments for all students. The major construction and renovation projects and relocations that will affect operations during the next school year include: at Bunch Middle School, students and staff will temporarily relocate to the former Archer High School facility during the renovation of the Bunch Middle School facility. At Cone Middle School, students and staff will remain relocated to the former Eastlake Elementary School facility until the end of school year 2014. Students and staff at Jackson High School will remain relocated to the Cone Middle School facility until the end of December 2013. A community meeting will be held at 6 p.m. on April 18th to provide students, parents, and employees with an update on the extensive renovation, design, enhancements, and relocation plans for Jackson High School. At Mary Lynn Elementary School, the school will undergo a phased renovation and addition while students and staff remain on site. At North Atlanta High School, students and staff will permanently relocate to the new North Atlanta High School facility located at 4111 Northside Parkway. And at Parks Elementary School, the school will merge with Sylvan Hills Middle School and be temporarily located at the Parks Middle School facility. At Rivers Elementary School, students and staff will temporarily relocate to the Sutton Middle School facility during construction of the new Rivers Elementary School facility. And at Springdale Park Elementary School, the school will undergo a phased renovation and addition while students and staff remain on site. At Sutton Middle School, students and staff will permanently relocate to what will soon be the former North Atlanta High School facility located at 2175 Northside Drive. And at Sylvan Hills Middle School, the school will merge with and be relocated to the Parks Middle School facility during the construction of a new Sylvan Hills Middle School facility for staff and students. The board and the superintendent discussed the district's current cell phone policy at the March board meeting. At this meeting, the board particularly expressed the need for all students to have access to cell phones in the event of emergency situations or in order to get in contact with parents or guardians after school. At the April 1st meeting, the board voted to extend the existing policy currently applicable to high school students to middle and elementary school students as well. High school students are allowed to bring phones to school as long as they are turned off during the school day. During an emergency, students will be allowed to use their phones with permission from the school. This policy extension is effective immediately and will also give the board additional time to nail down specifics and details of a new cell phone usage policy prior to the 2013-14 school year. Many community members attended the April 1st board meeting to ask the board to take a close look at the unfunded pension, liability, and funding for charter schools.
You know, we're the sort of largest of the independent charters, and we are the ones that will close, and we will close unless that there is a temporary financial Band-Aid that is put on ASAP. We desperately need that. We're in budgeting just like you guys are. And it's really important to us that our school, even in a short term, does not change who it is because of this bizarre situation that is going on with the pension funding and the inequity of the funding.
Many stakeholders asked the board and the superintendent to work on charter schools from a funding perspective. Superintendent Davis has committed to work closely with the charter school community to assist in the budget matters and providing adequate funding. The board's Policy Review Committee met on March 12, 2013 and recommended a revision to the APS salutatorian and valedictorian policy. This revision states that consideration will be given to shared valedictorian and salutatorian designations in the event of a school closing in the district. The board's Policy Review Committee recommended that the board waive the first reading and adopt the revision with no public comment period. The board accepted the committee's recommendation, waived the first reading, and approved the change in the policy.
Of the policy should be in front of everyone at this point in time.
Does everyone have a revised wording on this policy? Great. Any comments or questions about this item? You recall that this item is, we're waiving the first read, so the first action item will be to waive the first read on this agenda item.
Move to waive.
I've got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion about this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move to the agenda item itself, and that is to approve the policy. I've got a motion from Mr. English
Second.
and a second from Ms. Johnson. Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Another item on the agenda for the April 1st meeting was the reading of the class size resolution. The State Board of Education has granted an exemption from all statutory and regulatory class size maximums for the 2013-2014 school year. As a result, effective for the 2013-2014 school year only, the Atlanta Board of Education will authorize the superintendent of schools to increase the class size maximums to exceed the current requirements by 1 to 5 students in grades K through 12 in regular education, 1 to 5 students in English language learners, 1 to 5 students in gifted, 1 to 5 students in early intervention programs, 1 to 5 students in remedial education programs, 1 to 5 students in vocational, 1 to 5 students in alternative education programs, and 1 to 5 students in special education classes. Before the resolution was read, board members Harshkane and Meister suggested that the board have further discussions around the resolution and provide time to hear any concerns or feedback from the community. The resolution was tabled into the May board meeting. In January, the Atlanta Board of Education approved the formation of a task force to review the proposal to rename Cascade Elementary School to the Joseph Eccles Lowry Elementary School. The task force was chaired by Yolanda K. Johnson and Byron D. Amos. The board invited the community to provide input regarding the renaming of the school.
Basically, upon the receipt of any ask, recommendation, suggestion to rename the school, we convene a meeting. And the purpose of the meeting is to evaluate not only that ask, but in my opinion, the renaming of the school in general.
After reviewing the community's input, as well as speaking with stakeholders at task force meetings, the renaming task force made a recommendation to the board that a name change not be made or considered at this time. The board voted and accepted the recommendation of the renaming task force at the April 1st meeting. At this month's board meeting, board member Butler Burks suggested that the board schedule a visioning session surrounding the superintendent search. Board members agreed to hold a special facilitated meeting to address the board's vision before the search committee holds its meeting in April. In this meeting, the members of the board would like to accomplish the following. They would like to offer their feedback on what to look for in the next superintendent. They hope to develop a comprehensive superintendent profile, and they plan to give the search committee directions and directives on a timeline and matters concerning the search for a permanent superintendent. In this week's New Hire Spotlight, we would like to congratulate a newly approved APS counselor. At the April 1st meeting, the board approved Anita Ragland to serve as the counselor at Dunbar Elementary School. Listen as Ms. Ragland discusses her plans and outlook for her new role at Dunbar.
I'm very excited about being a counselor in Atlanta Public Schools. My two schools are Paul L. Dunbar and Cleveland Avenue Elementary, and I am glad to be a part of the Atlanta Public Schools family. I want to further enhance the partnership between our parents and our community and continue to further the education for our students by bringing in and exposing them to various careers.
At the April 1st board meeting, the Superintendent, Board of Education, and APS leadership recognized 5 newly hired principals: Maureen Reeler at Hope Hill Elementary School, Caitlin Sims at Parkside Elementary School, Eunice Hutchins Jones at Slater Elementary School, Carol Evans at Finch Elementary School, Wanda Harmon at Gideons Elementary School, and Hodge Womack at Best Academy Middle School. Congratulations on your new positions at Atlanta Public Schools. Vice Chair Byron Amos and Board Member Courtney English held a District 2 Town Hall for District 2 parents and stakeholders on March 28th. During the town hall, English and Amos discussed important topics such as small schools, school safety, school closings, parental engagement, and community involvement. Several members of the board also attended the Atlanta Public Schools 2013 valedictorian and salutatorian breakfast on April 2nd. The Board of Education showed their support and commitment to education as they took time to honor the district's valedictorians, salutatorians, and star students and teachers. If you represent a community organization that would like to schedule a meeting with an APS leader, we ask that you call the Office of External Affairs at 404-802-2826. At each board meeting, community stakeholders are given an opportunity to speak publicly to the board. Several of the public comments at the April 1st meeting focused on funding for charter schools, the CRCT indictments, the district's cell phone policy, facilities, and the proposed bell schedule for the 2013-14 school year. Let's take a brief look at a few of the night's public comments.
You all threw it in on me last month, but hopefully I can do it justice this month regarding the cell phones. Going down to the lower levels. We have a hard enough time, I'm a high school teacher, we have a hard enough time regulating cell phone usage at the high school level, and I definitely don't want that to go down to the lower grade levels. Those are the formative years, and our students do not need any extra disruptions to the educational process, and that does happen. And I understand, I heard what the parents had to say, they want to be able to contact their children, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of old school. That's what the front office is for, and any other offices are for. So if you really need to get in contact with your student, or your student needs to contact you, they shouldn't sneak off to the bathroom to use their cell phones.
I'm Ramonia Toombs, and I'm Executive Vice President of the Atlanta Federation of Teachers. I have a couple of things that we'd like for you to take into consideration. Considering the makeup of our students, we are asking that you increase the number of support personnel in the school. Research also says that there is a direct positive correlation between smaller class sizes and achievement. So we're asking that you keep all teachers and not have any layoffs. Lastly, we would like for you to consider that our employees are paying more to get to work and to stay at work. And we would like for that consideration to be in the form of a cost of living increase. And we would like for you to consider the cost of living increase without increasing our benefits.
As somebody that worked at Herndon Elementary and Kennedy Middle School, I can't tell you how excited and grateful we are, and now presently at Drew Charter School, about the opportunity to share and collaborate with the administration, students, and staff of Kennedy Middle School. One thing I know about working in this community is the parents of that community, just as the parents of Drew, care greatly about their children.
Let's put a moratorium on that test this year. How dare you put anything with CRCT in front of these kids when it's in the media, when they haven't recovered from the atrocities put on. You saw the little girl on TV. You saw the little girl, you saw the mother. We can't afford that. And Kennedy Middle School was a part of the worst cheating scandal in U.S. history. And then, on top of that, you got 85 kids left at Kennedy. Of course, who's not getting resources, who's not getting, it's the same old thing from the scandal. But then you have Drew Charter coming in, who's supposed to have all the amenities, the Drew experience. But yet, 2 schools in 1 building. Who does that to children? Especially in the economical situation that those young people are in.
I've come tonight to speak about the new bell time proposal. It's really interesting. The facts online address budgetary and logistical needs related to transportation, with little discussion of the impact on students once they actually get to class. The proposed changes for middle and high school will have positive effects, not mentioned in the facts, and deserve serious consideration whether or not the district ends up adding buses to the fleet. I'm distributing a few resources on the subject for your later perusal. In effect, there's broad consensus that the amount of sleep a child gets each night has a measurable effect on alertness, problem-solving ability, and impulse control, all key prerequisites to success in a classroom environment. These studies show that adolescents and teens in particular have the most serious sleep shortfalls.
Small school structures are not acceptable for the historic Booker T. Washington High School. It was the very first Black comprehensive high school in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Washington High School has produced a lot of homegrown leaders in politics, in institutions, and all over this country. Today we came to tell you that the family of Washington High School, students, parents, alumni, athletic boosters, band boosters, and classes support the community school concept.
Board Chair Ruben McDaniel says the board has a lot of upcoming work centered around budget and preparing for the upcoming school year, but he is proud of the work the board has done around district policies. Listens to Ruben's remarks regarding the April 1st meeting as he recaps important moments and outlines key objectives for the board moving forward.
You know, last night we really just did a lot of policy work. We did have a chance to review the cell phone policy and our naming policy, and really try to clean up some of the work around our salutatorian and valedictorian policy. And so some of the board work seems mundane, but it's very important work to make sure we continue our mission going forward and making sure that the policies are in place to provide an educational environment. You know, it really is budget, budget, budget. We have a big budget season coming. We got our first briefing last week, and there's certainly going to be budget challenges given the economic environment that we're in, but we really are focused on how can we make sure that we maintain the quality of education, how can we reward our teachers for the work that they've done. They've certainly taken the brunt of a lot of the economic burden. We're trying to help them this year. And we're really just trying from an educational perspective to make sure that the resources are allocated properly. We're going to start with about a $45 million gap. We think we can narrow that pretty quickly down to 20 to 25 million. And then we've got to make some hard decisions from there of what we're going to cut and rearrange and change. But I'm sure that ultimately we'll have a great budget outcome and be in balance. We should have some public meetings over the next couple of weeks, and certainly encourage all the public to come out and hear about where we are from a budget perspective and give you insights and inputs on the priorities that you think are going to be important for APS going forward.
Thank you for tuning in. Tune in each month for information regarding the Atlanta Board of Education and important agenda items from monthly board meetings. The next board meeting will be held on May 6, 2013 at the Center for Learning and Leadership, 130 Trinity Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. Stakeholders who would like to provide public comment during the monthly Committee of the Whole meeting should contact the board office at least 1 hour prior to the scheduled time of the Committee of the Whole meeting by calling 404-802-2200. Stakeholders wishing to address the board during the community meeting must register in person at the sign-in table from 5 o'clock p.m. to 5:50 p.m. on the day of the community meeting. Community members must list their names and agenda item or topic they wish to address. Community members will be given up to 2 minutes to address the board. At APS, we are renewing our commitment to you.